Nobody say anything. We're on the internet.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, nothing on the internet will ever get out.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
Now we just got to remember not to talk trash about our coworkers.
Oof. Yeah, that's going to be...
I'm out.
Yep.
That's going to be rough.
Especially with these two.
Yeah. Well, to everybody that's watching us on Twitch, welcome to the inaugural Nerd Radio. It's kind of your backstage pass.
Yeah, this is like...
It's like the worst concert ever.
Yeah, I can't argue that.
You get well if you're a listener of Nerd Radio, and I'd imagine anybody who's watching the first minute here probably isn't.
Yeah.
We broadcast on the HD2 station here in Detroit on WRAF.com every Wednesday night at 10, and then the podcast goes up on WRAF.com every Friday morning. I'm Chuck Bean. This is Mr. Al Beck.
Yeah.
This is James. We get together every week after these guys get done doing the morning show, and I get done getting a couple hours of sleep from an overnight, and we talk about nerd stuff. We've been doing it for, 4 or 5 years now?
Oh, God, I don't even know.
Yeah,
it was
you guys
like a
been doing
year
it much longer than me.
Yeah,
Right.
I think you were already doing it for a year before I joined you.
I think so. Yeah. So welcome to the show.
Yeah.
We'll get recording here in a couple minutes, and we're on the Twitch stream. What's the channel?
Twitch.tv/checkpointxp.
There you go.
Cool.
So if you want to pipe in, let us know.
Get ready for the car wreck that is
Yeah,
Nerd Radio.
exactly. If you're a longtime watcher of Checkpoint XP, you're going to find out how together those guys are compared to how not together we are as a show.
You can see my sweet fingers on the keyboard skills
Nice.
as I'm cutting the cameras.
Right. Am I on camera? I look like I'm a little to the left.
I don't know.
You might not be directly centered, but
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't want to mess with Nate's and.
Yeah, I'm not.
Like I don't want to. We're already driving mom and dad's.
Once again,
Corvette down the street.
I don't want to bring the microphone up or anything. I was like, I'll just.
Don't want to mess with all the seats.
Don't want to mess.
Hey, look at that!
Hey,
Hey, look at that.
Somebody's got
Chad.
us on the
It's Chad.
Yeah.
Even more
Hi,
internet
Chad.
coverage.
Yeah,
Is it
hi,
warm in
Chad.
here?
Yeah, right.
Feeling the pressure.
Uh-oh. Hope you put your
we're
deodorant on.
under review right now.
Yeah, right. This is going to last for like 2 weeks, and they're going to be like, "Yes, you guys
I don't know.
didn't quite work out, but thanks for
Viewership
trying."
dipped.
Yeah, we actually do damage. To the channel.
Yeah.
I just tried to cut to my camera and it's not working.
Already.
Boy. Oh, it's there.
I was going to say you're 5, right?
Yeah.
So like you and the group are on one side of the keyboard, and
Yeah,
me and
so-
Al are on the other side.
You see me sitting like this, kind of weird.
Cool.
I'm typing like a court person who takes down all the things that are said.
Yeah, exactly. You're the now you're the Nerd Radio stenographer.
I just try to remember to keep going back to the group shot.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
And a lot of it too, I think, is going to be a little delayed.
Mm-hmm.
So like Al might already be done talking. I'll cut to this camera right as soon as he's done.
Yeah, right.
It'll take some practice, but it'll work.
Oh, I'm glad James is the director.
I know.
My extra job is make sure our SD card is still recording.
I feel bad that you guys have extra.
Oh my God, we've been talking for 3 minutes and 44 seconds and have accomplished even less than usual.
Well, at
okay.
least we know the mics work.
Yes, that's true.
So that's typically why we do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
First start. It's the first step.
All right, ready? We're not. You guys at home are not going to hear any of the production. So that's another peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Welcome to this week's Nerd Radio, wherever you're getting your podcast as part of the BPod Studios Network, and of course on WRIF.com and on your social media at Nerd Radio 101. Our second week in the Checkpoint XP Studios. My name is Chuck Bean, joined by James.
I went to Al. I cut to Al.
I fooled you.
So confused.
Now it's back to me. Usually Al goes first, so it's like, I'm gonna nail this
Chuck, I
intro.
know, Chuck. Zipped it around. No, this is a perfect start. It's a perfect start.
It is.
For what Nerd Radio has become.
And Al Beck.
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome to the show, Al.
And live on the Checkpoint XP Twitch stream.
Yes, this is our first week on the Checkpoint XP stream.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the podcast and you tune in now, you will not see us.
Yes, we won't be there.
We are, people are going to get to see a peek behind the curtain very much in the coming weeks here as we Twitch stream. We are on Wednesday afternoons, somewhere between like 11 and 2.
Yeah,
I
somewhere
would
around
imagine,
there, yeah.
or 11 and 1. So if you want to see how it looks before I put all the fun stuff in, before DMX shows up.
Right.
Yeah, uncensored, unfiltered, raw.
Right.
Raw dog, Nerd Radio.
Raw dog, Nerd
Raw
Radio.
dog
Yeah.
in the internet right now, Nerd Radio style.
That is awful.
I think it's a perfect description of what's happening.
Yeah, well, you'll actually see how little editing we actually. Well, like Chuck puts some bells whistles on it,
right?
But as far as like maybe we should cut that out and make it clean. No, it's all just it's already pretty raw.
It is what it is, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
So speaking of being in the Checkpoint XP studios, I feel the need to address the fact that last week's show almost didn't happen.
Yeah, we had a bunch.
Oh my God! Yeah.
Because we had that recording problem with I brought in we're recording.
We talked about that, but it goes a little deeper than that even.
Right.
Yeah.
We record with a memory card now instead of recording into like a computer with iTunes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But the memory card I brought it had stuff on it already, so there wasn't enough space.
Oh, Chuck's pornography. How much
Al's
porn did you lose?
Al's got a pleasure pad. I just keep it on a memory stick.
Yeah. He's got a pleasure stick and a pleasure pad.
Yep.
That's right.
Come to my house and I got just a whole
reel to reel.
Yeah, I got old school porn.
Slice it.
So it recorded to the
push.
It recorded to the memory card, and the memory card I had to wipe the memory card so we could record the other thing. Well, the first thing we recorded, which was most of the show, got wiped. But I thought I had it up on my computer on Adobe. Well, somewhere between Wednesday and me producing it Friday morning, my computer put some updates in and rebooted. Ooh. So that disappeared. And I'm sitting here Friday at like 1 a.m. going, I don't think there's going to be a Nerd Radio here. And then I remembered Nate, who joined us last week from Checkpoint XP, said that they have a backup card in the second thing. I'm like, well, I'm going to check. I'm going to see if the backup card's in here at 1 a.m. And it was on the backup card, so that's why we had a show last week, long story short.
Thank goodness for the backup card.
Yeah, no kidding.
If there's any better example of how untogether we are as opposed to how together they are, that is it.
Yeah, well, as per usual, came in completely unprepared.
Right.
Which I am today as well. I've got nothing. Just so you guys know.
You've got something.
I have something. I have something we could talk about.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, hey, look at that.
I do. He might already have it, though. So we'll see what he presents.
And I know that you have something because you told me about it already. It's just that you don't remember you have something. And that, once again, Al Beck, everybody.
So today we're taking a journey into Al Beck's memory.
Yes, exactly.
It's a short trip. I walked up the stairs like 10 minutes ago, and that's where my memory ends.
Yeah,
it's like living in a constant fugue state.
See, I drive in.
Goldfish.
I drive in the morning thinking, man, what are we going to talk about? Al thinks of it as he's walking into the room.
Yeah, well, I usually think of it when you and I are doing shift change from midnight to morning, and then we talk about it, and then by the time Nerd Radio rolls around, I'm like, I don't remember. What the hell.
So yeah, we're here, and it is what a week when it comes to nerd stuff. Like in the last 24 hours,
man,
3 news stories broke, and I think
big news stories.
Oh, okay.
Let's start with the big one.
Sure.
Spider-Man.
Yep.
No longer a part of the MCU.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad are fighting, and Mom has decided to take custody of Spider-Man back. And by Mom, I mean Sony.
Yeah.
Has decided
which is so dumb.
I guess from what I was reading, falls somewhere between Kevin Feige, who is kind of the
So that's how you say his name.
Yes, the guy behind the scenes that makes the big decisions about the whole Marvel movie
I thought
thing.
It was Kevin Feige.
Feige, yeah, Kevin Feige. He's the first story I read is that he has too much on his plate now with them getting X-Men and Fantastic Four, so he was not going to work on the Spider-Man movies anymore. And then the other thing I'd read, which I think was on Deadline, is that Disney wanted a 50-50 split going forward.
Which I think seems fair.
Right.
They're already putting up most of the money, I believe, for the production, the movies, and they're doing the casting. They're doing all the work. And Sony's just reaping the benefits of owning the
instead of like
the license or whatever to have the movie rights to Spider-Man.
And I wonder what the ratio of money made by the two. Just forget about his appearances in the Avengers movie. Just the 2 Spider-Man standalone movies.
Right.
I wonder what the ratio in money made with the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies versus the ones that Sony put out.
Right.
You're talking Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire and
Andrew
Garfield.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing too. Like Sony did make Venom, which I guess Kevin Feige had a hand in as well, kind of behind the scenes secretly, which I didn't know about. And then they made the Spider-Verse movie.
He had a hand in it secretly behind the scenes.
He had a hand behind the scenes.
See, we were talking about this morning, and I was wondering about the Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie.
Right, and
was that a Sony property?
That was strictly a Sony property, but. I think we can all agree that as much as I love that movie, it would not have made the money it made and gotten the notoriety it had if we hadn't had Tom Holland and Marvel of regenerate
absolutely, 100%.
what Spider-Man is.
Which is probably what Sony's banking on. Like now that Disney's gone and sort of reboot the character and made him cool again.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm in the minority. I don't mind the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield stuff.
I like Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I thought Tobey Maguire was really good as Peter Parker.
Yeah, I thought they had their charms, those movies. I don't necessarily think, I mean, most people hate them, especially the Tobey Maguire ones. I don't hate them. So I'm fine. I got a soft place for Spider-Man.
I was fine until Tobey Maguire got all emo. They tried to bring
Spider-Man
Venom
3.
into that one. Yeah, I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Foreman's there
He's doing
for
the
some
weird
reason.
dance.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is all the dancing? And you totally miscast Eddie Brock.
Yep.
Eddie Brock is like a little pipsqueak.
Yeah.
Come on,
Foreman from that
I know,
70s show.
yeah, dumbass. He's dumbass. You know, as Eddie Brock.
He's
Venom,
dumbass.
Sometimes I feel like I'm dumbass.
Well,
I am a dumbass.
Yeah.
you're in good company.
Yeah,
Dumas.
exactly.
It's Dumas.
Dumas. Yeah, exactly. It's French. But you know, I'm. It's gonna crack me up when we get to the next Spider-Man movie, when Tom Holland is still Spider-Man, and when the director, whose name escapes me at the moment, is still directing the movie, but it's not part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's gonna crack me up how many people are like, well, I'm not going to see it. It's not. It doesn't count. So I'm not going to bother. Even like it's probably still going to be really good. All the most of the people who worked on the last bunch.
True.
See, I would probably still go check it out.
I'll still go check it out. I'm not,
Right. But there's going to be a segment of the fandom that's going to be so ingrained. It's like, well, I'm not going to go.
But it will be very interesting to see the difference in money when they finally do one that's all Sony.
Right.
Because they are like you were. I don't see. I already forgot which one of you said it. Maybe James said it. They did all the legwork and put all the money into it. Disney. What's that?
Hello, Goldfish Al.
Who are you people?
That's
Somebody
really
feed Al. He needs some brain flakes.
Wow, that's really pretty rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's really pretty rock.
Yeah, we're in the studio with the windows open too. And he's probably going to see it. Oh, a squirrel. There's a bird.
The studio we used to do this in has no windows at all. It's basically a storm shelter.
Yeah.
And now we've got windows, and there is actually a painting of a
beautiful
cat.
painting of a cat that the people on Twitch cannot see because our Rift banner is in front of it. I feel a little bit bad about that.
Yeah, you're blocking the cat. I think that's Nate's cat we're blocking.
You know what? That's Joe told me to put it there, so I was like, "You sure you want to block the cat?" So yeah, the Spider-Man news is a big deal, and then I should have set a stopwatch because I don't know how long we've been talking at this point. But the other news that I saw last night is that the Matrix is coming back. They're making a fourth Matrix. Carrie-Anne Moss and Keanu Reeves are on board, and one of the Wachowskis is working to write and direct it,
which I find confusing because we talked about this a little bit this morning on the Dave and Chuck the Freak Show. But if you've seen the Matrix movies, how are they doing this? Like somehow somebody else is going to get in the Matrix or reprogram and take us in the past, or
the way the spoilers for the Matrix, the way it
I was going to watch it this weekend.
The way it ended was that the machines and the humans were actually going to try and work together again at the very end. So now you're going to be dealing with.
I must have missed that part. You're
going to be dealing with a society where like the Matrix probably still exists, and there's probably still people in the Matrix, but then there's people on the outside too, and they're going to be trying to. You've got this. They've been at war for so many years, so you're going to have the machines and the humans still.
The machines are tired. They need a break. They need peace.
Right. Well, there's still going to be fight. It's a little bit like my Transformers comics. The last like 5 years or something like that, they finally went with, okay, the Autobots and Decepticons have been fighting for millions of years. What if somebody won? What if the war was over? How does everybody that survives deal with that? And that was, for somebody that's been a Transformers fan for 30-something years, that was something I was interested in.
I don't want to shock you, but I don't remember how the Matrix ended. So you really did almost spoil it for me, but I don't care. Honestly, that news didn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I was blown away by the first Matrix movie.
Yeah.
And, again, I can't remember who it was in the morning show, but somebody had mentioned, like, I remember, it might have been Andy, said, I remember the first movie. Like, I got great memories of it. But then I don't, honestly, I know I watched the second and third one. I don't remember which order they go in. I don't remember a single thing about them.
Right.
The only thing I remember from the second one is the battle on the freeway.
On the truck?
On the truck.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the only thing that I remember from the second one. And
there was still some cool action sequences, and I'd say the ending, too, with the architect is kind of fun. But the third one is definitely where people were like, well, this isn't the movie I wanted to come and see.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. The third one, I was like, well, this is a turd, man. This is
right.
A big turd in a big, expensive, fancy toilet bowl turd. Okay, like wow, bad.
Oh, a fantasy toilet bowl.
Yeah. You should live
excited.
In my head.
I love that Keanu is coming back for Bill and Ted. Now he's coming back for the Matrix. Like I think a Point Break sequel is on the way.
You got me. You got me in a Point Break sequel. Yes. Or I'm all in. Maybe they have different presidents' masks, though, like Bill Clinton. You can get like a Ross Perot mask.
You got to have a Trump mask at that point.
Trump, yes, a Trump mask.
Exactly. And, at this point, what other Keanu movies can we get? Let's do another Speed.
I don't know if I want to see another
Speed 20 years later.
Even Keanu Reeves was like, I don't know about that second one. I don't think I'm going to do this again. I think that was before he was actually enjoying some success.
Right. Before we take a break, too, I wanted to mention to you guys, are either of you guys big James Bond fans?
I am a James Bond fan.
Did you see that the 25th James Bond movie is now Daniel Craig's returning, and they've got a title for it?
Yeah, I did hear that there was a title.
Yeah, you only die 17 times or something. You got to run from death.
It's no time.
You got to run from death.
It's always death and something about avoiding it or meeting
James Bond this summer. You got to run from death.
Holding hands with death.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because the title is really silly. It's called No Time to Die.
Yeah, No Time to Die. Who's got time to die?